Use flail yarns.
I just always immediately go into the robot though when doing it, even when trying to do the Charleston. And there's lots of like
You can't do
knees.
the Charleston thing. It's impossible, honey. Hey guys, happy tea time. We were just watching a Charleston dance video, and they don't make them like they used to. That's for sure.
Nope, not at all.
I wish I was that. The 20s is the era, my era.
That's your era,
Yeah.
the 1920s. It's such
Yeah,
a
but I want to be rich in it.
right. I think I would want to be rich in every
All
era,
era, but
all
yeah.
the eras.
All of the eras.
After watching Downton Abbey, I would have to say probably the 1910s, but only if I was rich.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers! Happy tea time.
Happy tea time to you guys. Thanks for this little break. We are ferociously working because in 2 days, pretty much one day,
Yeah.
we are flying to Charleston.
Charleston, hence the dance.
Hence the dance.
We're going to YALLFEST, y'all.
Y'all, do you want to... Who's going? Is anybody going that is watching? If not, then we're just going to talk about it and make you jealous.
There is a official hashtag, which I forgot to print out.
Official for us.
Oops, and I can't write because I suck at things.
Oh, look, there are a couple people that will be there.
Sweet.
Somebody saw our Tris 4 cutouts. 4 just creeps on us all day, every day.
Okay. So we're going to be using this hashtag, Epic Reads, y'all.
Epic Reads, y'all.
So we'll be tweeting using that hashtag where we are and when we'll be doing things.
And probably just a lot of us doing the If you followed us when we were at the
Pretty much.
Austin Teen Book Festival, it was just us moonwalking everywhere.
Yes. So the easiest way to find out what we're going to be doing is to check that hashtag on Instagram.
Okay. So this is turning into a pretty big deal, and there are going to be 50 young adult authors there.
Yeah.
I think more than 30 of them are New York Times best-selling authors. It
Which
is like
crazy.
a fest of goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read some of the names.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, read them to me.
Lee Bardugo.
Awesome.
Libba Bray, Ray Carson, Matthew Cody, Rachel Cohen, Ali Candy, Jocelyn Davies, Melissa De La Cruz, Gail Foreman, Cami Garcia, David McGinnis-Gill, Lev Grossman. Oh my God, Ellen Hopkins, David Levithan, Marie Liu, Tahereh Mafi, Lauren Oliver, April Lynn Pike, Ransom Riggs, Veronica Roth, Rainbow Rowell, Carrie Ryan, Margaret Stoll, Sean Williams. There's I can't even go through this.
Yeah.
Do you know how much fangirling Margot and I are going to do?
I feel like when I'm surrounded by that many cool authors, I don't know how to fangirl properly.
No.
There is only I don't know how to do it without just body combustion. Yeah, just exploding everywhere because there's just too many
Is there somebody that you've got your sights set on that you're gonna?
Let's see.
Here, I pulled this up on my phone.
Who are you excited to see? I haven't really thought about it yet.
I think I'm going. I haven't met Ellen Hopkins, and I'm fascinated by her.
She's really cool.
So I need to. Those were my. Of course, you guys. Everyone knows I have a huge fangirl crush on Tahereh Mafi. I want to just be an iota of cool for her, but she has to hang out with me.
She has a choice in the matter. It's gonna happen.
Ellen Hopkins doesn't, so I'm gonna try to get in her space.
I think I am excited to meet Victoria Schwab, who wrote Vicious and The Archived. I've been sort of Twitter friends with her for a while, but I've never, and she's been in New York, and I keep missing her events, and we just sort of keep missing each other. So I'm really excited to finally meet Victoria Schwab and do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people because you're a big Twitterer. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of people on here that I feel like you interact with online.
Yeah, and I got to meet a lot of these people at RT last year at Romantic Times in Kansas City. So Lee Bardugo, I got to hang out with her. She's so cool.
Oh yeah, you were.
I'm excited. I love her. There's some cool panels and stuff.
Oh yeah.
There was one that I saw. Where is it? Oh, yeah.
All the Feels is pretty high on my list.
The sci-fi fantasy masked ball sounds pretty amazing. Margaret Stoll is the moderator of that. I don't even know what that is going to be, but it kind of sounds awesome. Also, Ransom Riggs and Tahereh Mafi are doing a coffee talk called After the Peculiar Wedding, so maybe they'll finally, like, tell us
maybe they'll have a book wedding
about
right
their
there.
lives. Yes.
Some of you guys are tweeting, what's the author you guys most want to meet in life?
In life.
They don't have to be at YALLFEST, but they're probably going to be there, and we'll give them some love for you.
Let's see. Book Owl 93 says, I would love to meet Lauren Oliver.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's always got a good story.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun.
Mostly Lit says, one of my dreams is to meet Gail Foreman.
Ooh, she's going to be there. I think you're going to be there, too. We'll be on the hunt together. I've ancillary met, like, I stood in the corner and I was like, hi.
Oh, at that panel?
Yeah, I was like, hi.
Yeah. We're like, hey, Gail, there's Gail Foreman. Miss Just R said, I would love to meet Ellen Hopkins, too. I read all of her YA books.
Yeah.
Author Madison says, I really want to meet Rick Riordan and Allie Carter.
Yeah.
Haley G says, I would like to meet James Patterson because Maximum Ride is my favorite series.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
James Patterson just got some, like, weird honor from the Library of Congress as, like, the champion of literature or something, like, which is awesome, but it was, like, kind of a funny title, I think. Book Butterfly 09 says, Veronica Roth and JK.
Well, man, I would melt into a puddle of mush.
Brunette but Mermaid says, I want to meet Jessica Shea. Love the Cahill Chronicles.
Books with Witch Jin said, I've been lucky to meet so many authors, I don't know who I'd want to meet. She said you should want to see Veronica Rossi again. She is awesome sauce.
Andy ABC's Casey West and Suzanne Young. Let's see. I moderated a panel with Suzanne Young. She was really cool.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We are really, really excited. We last week we said that we would be doing, speaking of Veronica Rossi, we said that we would be doing something with her this week, but because of YALLFEST and because we are all traveling and trying to plan, that didn't work out. So that has been moved to next week. We will be doing Veronica Rossi Spreecast.
We're going to talk about badass YA heroines.
Yeah, our favorite heroines.
Strong females in YA lit.
And rumor is she's going to read a scene from
Into the Still Blue. Nice. Mm-hmm. Nice. So, and Brooke, which is another e-novella that's coming out soon.
Yes.
Like is it next week?
It's in November.
2 weeks? It's on Epic Reads.
Yes.
I should know those things.
It's definitely in this month.
Next week, though, No Place Like Oz, which is the prequel novella to Dorothy Must Die. It's 125 pages long. I didn't realize it was that long. It's like an actual, novella, not just a short story. But that comes out next week.
Yes.
So,
and that is explaining why Dorothy broke bad.
Why she must die.
Yes.
Broke bad. I liked that.
Yeah.
I like that. That was good. I'm super pumped. We just got the manuscript in. Full disclosure, for most of the books, we have access to the manuscripts about 6 months in advance before they print the arcs and mail those out. We don't always get a chance. We don't always have time to read them, or we want to save them because we want to read them all at the same time with you guys.
Ain't saving it.
But sorry. I got it. I need to read that one.
I saved a Legion for you. I cannot do it for this one.
Well, I think we only saved a Legion because they wouldn't give it to us.
It's true.
I think if they'd given it to us, we probably would have just read it. True story.
True story. We have no self-control.
None. So I'm really excited for that to come out next week. The first chapter of No Place Like Oz is on USA Today.
Yes, and there's an interview with Danielle, Paige, who is the author, who we met briefly at Comic-Con.
Briefly. She was wearing leather pants.
She seemed very awesome, and hopefully we'll get to do fun stuff with her.
Leather pants!
What are you reading this week, speaking of?
Where did I put? Oh, it's right under here. I am reading Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, which is a Dial book. I don't even know what publisher. Penguin, which is a Penguin book. this has just been sitting, like, on my shelf. One of those books that, like, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm interested in reading it. And so I got a copy, and then I, like, have been putting it off for a while. And then I think maybe because it was Halloween, and I was just, like, in the mood for it. Yeah. It's very much like... Cliff. Yeah, it's very much like one of those, like, Gothic, Southern Gothic horror stories, although I don't even really know. In fact, I know very little about this book. I'm only 74 pages in, but it's very good. I don't know what's happening. I can't quite tell you what's happening.
The Attic Review says, I love Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. And Miss Jillian Barry said, love Between the Devil and Deep Blue Sea. Gothic, atmospheric, gorgeous prose.
Yes, the writing is beautiful. It's like it's one of those books that just gives you, like, you're in that world, and there's, like, a whole style to it, which I really enjoy. So that's what I'm reading. What are you reading?
In the vein of not waiting, I'm reading Panic by Lauren Oliver. I tried really hard to wait because this doesn't come out until March of next year, and I tried really hard to wait. And
but we're meeting Lauren. We're hanging out with Lauren this weekend.
Yes. So. And I'm a huge fan of Lauren Oliver. I loved Before I Fall. I loved it.
I'm a Delirium girl.
Yeah. This is right up my alley, and I'm a little more than halfway through, and it's getting real messed up in a good way. I like it.
Like how? Like.
Okay. So the Panic is a game that, like, this really rural town in upstate New York has set to kind of help college students, or, like, not help, but there's a big pot of money, and it's kind of an underground game for, like, high school students. It's just, like, a tradition that's always been passed, and there's $75,000 goes to the winner. And they're on these, like, challenges, like, drag racing and, like, kind of just, panic-inducing things. And it's...
So, like, a lot of, like, high-risk... Like,
yes.
You could potentially die.
Yes, and it's told from, I think, just 2 perspectives, maybe 3. 2. And there's, like, kind of a band of people who aren't normally friends have banded together to kind of survive this together, and they've made pacts, and some of them are all in it for different reasons, and not always the money. But Dodge is a really great character. He's so good, and he's so complex, and I likes it.
How is it, like getting messed up? Like, what about it is messed up?
You're starting to realize what people's true intentions are in the story and why they are participating in this game.
So it's not just for the money for some people?
Yeah. And it's also, like, they might not be who they think you think they are.
Interesting.
It's really good, and it's got Lauren Oliver
signature prose.
Oh, just all over it.
Yeah.
Just eat it up.
And it's a standalone, like, realistic book. It's not dystopian or sci-fi or fantasy.
No, it kind of, like, this description makes it kind of seem like they're in a game that high stakes, but no, it's in real world, and it feels very real and contemporary, and that it could happen.
Susan Librarian says, love the Panic cover.
Yeah.
Does it? How does it match with her other ones?
She's definitely the fonts are the same. I think Delirium is too.
The same.
Yeah.
So
they
nice. They kind of go together.
Yeah, I like it. Definitely, if you're a Lauren Oliver fan. Also, on her Goodreads page, she reads the first chapter on a video, so you can get it there.
She also does this thing on her Tumblr where you could submit questions, and she does this, like, Ask Lauren Oliver weekly video series, so you can ask her anything. I think we gave her a question. Would you rather live in a world without Heinz ketchup or spend a year in federal prison? And she chose federal prison because that's how much she loves Heinz ketchup.
She's like, because I wouldn't be able to eat food.
Well, the one interesting fact that I've learned from Lauren Oliver is that Heinz ketchup is, like, the only food that hits, like, all six flavor profiles. Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of
salty, sweet, spicy, savory, and there's probably 2 more that I can't remember.
Bitter.
Yeah. Bitter and sour. Which is interesting. She's a weirdo, that one.
But it's awesome. I'm really excited to hang out with all of the people.
I know, right? I just, like, I'm really excited to meet the fans.
Yes, so if you are going to be at YALLFEST, we're introducing Ray and Veronica. Roth at
You okay?
He has it choking on my teeth. At the keynote, and then afterwards we'll kind of just be walking around, hanging out with the fans, look for Snarkles.
He will be there.
His minion will be there probably.
Probably. Although I know we might ship the large one.
There you go. So we'll be around, and we want to talk to you and maybe interview you and make you do the Charleston and the book shimmy with us.
Yes, if you do come up to us and we have a video camera, we will ask you if you'd like to be, if we can record you. So if you have a problem with that, please let us know, because we were trying to record like everything. And if you do come up to us and you are cool with recording, we will make you do the Charleston. Just be prepared. In fact, you may want to start practicing now. So,
and if you are not going to be there, we're going to try very hard to document it to make it feel like you were there.
We are going to try very hard. So check out our Vine account and Instagram and obviously Twitter.
Yeah.
So we'll be posting as much as we can. It was hard to post stuff at Comic-Con because of the bad connection. So hopefully we'll have a better internet connection.
Yes.
Which we should.
What
Okay,
else?
so let's see. What else? We have it's going to be a short tea time today, only because we have, we're leaving early Friday morning, and we've got a lot of things to take care of before we go, because we have other jobs besides doing the tea time, even though we wish we could do tea time all the time.
All the time.
The book club this month is 2 or 3 Things I Forgot to Tell You by Joyce Carol Oates, who is one of the most amazing people on Twitter ever, if you aren't following her. She tweets some absurd things, and it's wonderful. I have not read this book yet. I'm very excited to read it. It's available hardcover ebook and paperback now. It is about 3 best friends in high school, and one of their friends dies. I think she commits suicide. And it's told from 2 point of view, the 2 remaining friends, their points of view, and as they are sort of navigating high school and all the awful things that are that you experience in high school, but also sort of helping each other get through the grief of losing their friend. But with the grief, they sort of are they're not seeing the ghost of their dead friend, but like, you know, grief makes people do weird things, and you kind of like, you just sort of like see or sense the person, and when you're doing everyday things, and so they're sort of like going through that together. And if you haven't read any Joyce Carol Oates, she's a very like ethereal writer, so very kind of dreamy in a way. And there was a really good quote in here. It says, "I'd like to be your best friend, but only if you promise not to ever count on me." I don't know why. I really liked that quote, but it was just maybe because it's just on like the single page.
I think you're gonna need this for this next book club.
Just
curl up.
And let's see, Laurie Halls Anderson, who wrote Speak and Winter Girls, she says of this book, "The painful honesty of this book will crack open your heart. Joyce Carol Oates takes us from the howling pain of lonely adolescence to the comfort and healing brought about by a friendship strong enough to transcend death." So it's a good like friendship story, which I always enjoy going back to. I mean, it's always great to read romances, but I also really enjoy like a good friendship story. So that's what we're reading this month. So we'll be posting up a giveaway for this soon on epicreads.com. The giveaway today is we have some, last week we had some leftover Comic-Con exclusive chapter samplers of Dorothy Must Die, and this week we have 10 ones of Ignite Me, which is very exciting because there are no arcs for this book. No one will be reading this early.
So you will be extra super special.
Yeah.
I actually, true story, am not reading this because I don't want it to be over. Yeah. This is one of the series I'm not ready to let go.
There's a lot of series ending this winter that
I just
like,
can't handle. I just can't handle.
I kind of like the fact that they aren't printing arcs for the last book. And I sort of feel, I like it when, like, it's great when you have arcs that are out there, and so, like, bloggers can get them early, and, like, that's a great way. That's how bloggers get their books and help support the industry, but it's also kind of fun when they don't print an arc, so then everybody sort of is forced to read it at the exact same time, like with Allegiant, how everybody was just like, waiting and waiting and waiting, except for the people that stole the illegal copy. Boo! But hopefully that won't happen with this one. So it's kind of exciting. So there'll be like we'll do like a big readathon for the first 2 books leading up to Ignite Me. Oh, the cover for Fracture Me was just released this week. It's purple and her eyes are closed. Her eyes closed.
Yeah, and Tahereh tweeted and said that all of the novellas have the covers, the eye is closed because it's not from Juliet's perspective, so she doesn't know what's going on. Which I thought was really cool.
That is cool. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even...
I wouldn't even have thought of that. And then I was like, oh, that's the most beautiful thing ever.
Really cool.
So, yeah. Excited about that. What else do we have? I saw somebody tweeted that they were super excited about the Book Shimmy Awards.
Oh, yeah. The first category, we're doing it in 3 sections. There's going to be the category voting, which is happening right now. It ends on Friday. So far, 1,338 people have voted. And it ends, voting for this period ends on Friday, and then immediately opens up nominating for the categories. So we're going to narrow down the top 10 categories, and then we'll start the nominations for those categories. Everybody nominates. It's interesting because the Goodreads Awards just launched this week, and it's kind of interesting to see how they do it. And I don't know where they got those with the Goodreads Awards. There's nobody's nominating stuff. It's just
I don't know. Maybe somebody knows better than we know.
How do they pick the ones?
Pick the peoples?
Right. I mean, you can do a write-in, but they don't make it very obvious that you can do a write-in during this round in the Goodreads Awards, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So we're not doing it that way.
It's all coming from you guys.
All organic. So you're picking the categories, and you're going to start doing the nominations, which will last about 3 weeks. And then after that, then it's voting, so...
It should be fun. And we're going to be planning, once we get back from YALLFEST, we're going to be planning tons of ways to make it the most awesome book awards you've ever seen. Oh, yeah, it's probably the first book awards that's ever been, no, that's not true.
What?
Ever been live cast, but that's not true. They definitely do the Newberry. I watched the Newberry announcement.
But do they do the, I guess, yeah, but that's
the first ever teen one. Let's be...
Some of the categories that are the top ones right now, let's see, we've got secondary character most in need of his or her own book.
Surprising.
Most badass hero heroine, worst book hangover, aka the book that gave you the biggest hangover. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, it's a good thing. Couple of the Year award,
the most emotionally crippling ending.
Scariest.
I'm looking at a certain... You.
Scariest Fathomable Future, aka Best Dystopian. Let's see. The Feels Award.
Oh no, the number 1 so far voted category is If You Don't Give Me This Book Right Now, I Will Cut a Bitch Award.
Which is the most anticipated book of 2014.
Goodness, I love you guys.
Let's see. And then the Best of Shelf. The Best of Shelf and the Page Master will be givens. Because we have to award Best Book of the Year and Best Author of the Year. And I'm surprised to see that few people have voted for the Winchester Brothers Award. Apparently nobody knows. Those who are Supernatural fans don't get that, but yes, that is for Best Supernatural Book. Paranormal book.
I didn't get it.
Anyway, so yeah. So that is still happening. Go to epicreads.com and there's a big banner for it. You can go and vote. I believe you can vote multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how that works, but I'm pretty sure you can. So that's it. That's all we have for today. Next week, we are doing a video chat with Veronica Rossi on Thursday at...
I think it's at 3:45, but... Don't hold us to that.
And that'll be on Spreecast. That's in addition to our tea time. We'll do another tea time on Wednesday as well. There is a possibility that it might be ARC. Whoops. It might be an ARC party next week. I've heard rumblings that the ARCs are supposed to arrive next week, but they always say that and then it doesn't happen.
And then we've been teasing to an ARC party for a very long time.
I know, but then they keep, and then I'm like, when are they coming here? And then they're like, oh, it'll be here next week. And then it doesn't happen. And then I want to kill someone. So hopefully next week we'll have the ARC party. That would be glorious. yeah.
So, also, we are going to YALLFEST. If you can't go, Margot made this handy thing. We're going to be interviewing all of the authors.
Oh, yeah.
And what do you guys want us to ask them?
We have some questions.
So we're going to tweet out a link to where you can submit a question. It can be for all of the authors that you want us to ask, one author that you have a burning question, and we'll try to ask them, and then we'll try to share it on a video. That should be fun.
Okay, I'm tweeting that out right now.
Right.
Okay. All right, so submit your questions there. If you've got one. No pressure.
And if you see us doing the Charleston around Charleston, don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Yes, come up. A lot of people after Comic-Con, or not Comic-Con, maybe, I don't even know.
Or Austin Teen Book Festival.
Yes, that. And they're like, oh, I saw you, but I was too shy to come up. Don't be shy. Seriously, do not, if you want a hug, come up and just...
I'm a hugger, just an FYI.
I'll give you a T-Rex hug. No, I'll hug
default.
you. I'll hug you.
I don't think you've ever even hugged me.
Well, that's because you smell weird. You asked. Just kidding. No, well, come up and come be our friend. See Snarkles. You can squeeze Snarkles.
You can squeeze them.
Take pictures. You can do whatever you want.
You can
book Shimmy. But don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come say hi. So if you have, as usual, U.S. and Canada, sorry, rest of the world. I always just have to remind people we love you, rest of the world, but legal does not. So 10 of you will be winning Ignite Me.
Just to clarify, the reason why we can't is not because of shipping and costs of shipping. It's because of
legal rights.
It's the rights that we own or do not own in different territories. So we're not being cheapskates. It's just we don't own it.
Some books are, like, we have world rights for, and some books we don't. Some, like, Ignite Me could be published by us in the United States, but it could be published by Random House in the UK. So it's all complicated things that we don't understand.
That are way above us.
Way over my head.
So we do love you. We just might not, we don't have the rights to give you the books.
Correct. We don't want to get in trouble. So, so that being said, we will see you next week, next Wednesday at 3:45 Eastern. We love you. Sorry it's a short one this week. We got things to do before we go to Charleston.
I got a Twitterers. I wish I had a big necklace.
Big necklace? Why?
Those like vegan necklaces.
Oh, Nate Squirrel? Yeah. Or in like a fringe dress. Alright, we'll see you guys next week.
There won't be dancing.